From a narrator whose mournful yearning sparks a horror that is ever turning from a time which comes from long ago. Creates a horror that is never ending, a tragedy that will soon be sending its readers into a state of rending, tearing asunder their minds from above and below. The Raven has captured the imagination of the world since it was first written over 170 years ago, and yet younger children and even adults of today, some of its words and meanings remain a mystery. While the Raven creates nightmarish imagery, what does it really mean? The structure of the poem is made up of 18 six-line stanzas. It also uses a rhyming scheme which is consistent throughout the poem of ABC, BBB. It is a specific metrical form referred to as trochaic octameter. It is a rhythm that helps give the Raven its power as a poem, cycling from normal to almost playful to terrifying. There are a few references in the Raven which may be obscure today. The balm of Gilead is a biblical reference referring to a healing potion or substance. Pallas, whose bust sits upon the chamber door, is Athena, goddess of wisdom. And night's plutonium shore is the afterlife, a dark, shadowy realm from which the Raven seems to have emerged. The star of the poem is the narrator, the one who longs for his lost Lenore. The growing desperation in his words hint at the damage losing the love of his life has wrought. The pain he feels is amplified by the questions he continues to ask. He is alone and lonely, sitting in his room pondering what could be rapping at his chamber door. The narrator is feeding the demons of his own making, his madness and instability growing ever stronger as the poem progresses. But then again, is this truly of his own making, or are there supernatural forces at work? The central message of the Raven is the grief the narrator feels for his beloved Lenore. We know nothing of Lenore herself, only the love and devotion that the narrator feels for her. Lenore represents happier times, a place in which the narrator wants to return, but cannot. The Raven is a symbol of darkness, of death, and the unknown. It is also a symbol of grief over a loved one who has passed away. The inability of the narrator to move past the death of his beloved Lenore is crystallized in the only word the Raven ever speaks, nevermore. It means that Lenore will not return to the living, nor return to him. Poe used the Raven as a symbol of darkness because it was a creature who could speak but not reason. Ravens have been a part of Norse mythology, and the Bible refers to Noah releasing a white raven from the ark to check on the condition of the world. But is the raven real, or a figment of the narrator's imagination? That part remains unclear, because if the raven is real, then he represents a supernatural force. Either way, he is a symbol of what will never be again. The themes of death, memory, loss, and the supernatural all combine in The Raven. The core message of the poem is that grief can lead to obsession and madness, a self-torture brought about by the undying devotion that does not end at death. He will never be reunited with Lenore, at least not while he is living. Quote the Raven, nevermore.